Welcome back as we take another trip in the time machine using Madden '08 PC version to play the 1986 historical franchise. Right now it is September 30th, 1986. The Indianapolis Colts are facing a fictitious Jacksonville Jaguar team. And I say fictitious because the Jaguars were not part of the NFL during this time. But in order to make the game work with the teams and coding that it had, what they've done is they've used the Jaguars, went ahead and made them part of the league, but they've used free agents to fill the roster. And, quite honestly, their team is pretty terrible. They do have a 37-year-old Joe Theismann at quarterback. They have a 38-year-old Cliff Branch at wide receiver. And then they have, if you're looking at a kicker as your number 3 main guy, there's some problems. But they have one of the Zendayhosses as a kicker. Oh, and they had a safety, Tom Pridemore. I had heard of him. So, as I said, 1986, September the 30th. The number one song on the radio at this time, and that accelerated clock is killing me. First thing this game, and I get a penalty. But the number one song in America in September the 30th, 1986, was Huey Lewis and the News, and it was Stuck With You. And that is the perfect example of how a mediocre song with a pretty good video can, climb the charts to number one. It's crazy, but it was really a different time, and so many things were different. Let's see. Now, the fact, as I mentioned, that they're a pretty much anybody off the street. And, it wouldn't be so bad, I guess, if the free agents were split between just to the Jaguars. But they had to split the free agents with a couple of teams, all the franchise teams. So it does make it a little bit tougher on those teams, like the Jaguars, the Panthers, the Texans. So I should dominate this team fairly easily. But that's why they play the game. Penalty here, penalty there, and it doesn't matter how good you are. If you turn the ball over and the other team capitalizes. It's good to have Trudeau back as a starting quarterback. Let's try to hit Brooks in the left corner. He's not quite going to be making it to the end zone, but that's where I'm trying to go. With their two key guys being on offense, they may get lucky and move the ball a little bit on me. But I shouldn't have any issue moving the ball on them. This should be the highest scoring game of the season so far for my team. When I was doing the research for the number one song, I was excited. I thought it might be, one of the really cool songs. And I'm sorry, nothing against Huey Lewis and the News. I do like some of his songs, but I was a little disappointed when I was reading. I think it was Wikipedia is what I was looking at. and it was showing the list.
Here's a good defense for this situation. Try this ball here.
And we just barely, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm remembering right, we barely missed Venus by Bananarama. Now that's a catchy song.
A smart coach would call this play.
And if you've been paying attention to the clock, I did not make any changes with the overall time. I kept it at 4 minutes, but the way this game seems to be speeding by,
Call this play.
I may end up changing that, and I'll wait to the final, till the game's over, and then I can kind of look at the final minute count, the overall minute count. If we're around 20, 25 minutes, I'll probably go ahead and add the one to make it 5. If we're still around 30, I'll probably keep it at 4 minutes.
This is a good one to call.
It's just going to make it really tough to score any points and make the statistics, anywhere near accurate with 4-minute quarters flying down like this.
A smart coach would call this play. Here's a good defense for this situation.
And I'm trying to look at Theismann. I thought I noticed just a second ago, but he was one of the, if not the last quarterback that just wore the, the 2-bar, the real small 2-bar on his face mask. Or maybe it was one, right? Is that it? I think that's him right there, number 7. And he just has a single bar. And that's an accurate indicator of how he played. I'm surprised they didn't all end up with broken noses and things. Because just like I talked about the musical taste, the way the game was played back then was a lot different. Rules were nowhere near as strict for the defensive guys and protecting quarterbacks, and I want to shut my mouth and worry about finding a play and running it. But yeah, they were nowhere near as strict. Guys could get away with a lot. I think I could run Dickerson all game, but the issue is going to be that the clock's not going to stop. It's just going to wind down. If I get any passing yardage, it's going to be all from big plays more than likely. It's just going to make it really, like I said, tough. But my offensive line is going to destroy them. And it really hurts my receivers because they don't get any chances to catch the ball. And there's a little bit of a pass rush coming off the edge. I think that was Jolly, if I read the name right. Let's see where we are and what we've got. I think that's 52 getting ready to blitz. We've got both linebackers coming. I may go with a straight fly route with Hester and try to get that. I think that's one of those that put too much air under. The defender did seem to be running pretty much step. Excuse me. Step for step with him. I don't know that he would have gotten if I, darted in there a little more, but probably had a better chance. All this talk of domination, and it's 7-0. That was a good pass, good route. That's a good example of a veteran quarterback throwing a guy open. Got him. Good pass. And for what I was considering to be one of my strong points, or really looking at to be a strong point, my defense, they've struggled a lot this season so far in the early parts. I've gotten basically no pass rush.
Give this defense a shot.
Not really stopped the pass at all. My DBs haven't really played very well. And there we go. Same thing happened, I don't know if it was last game or not, but when I was bad-mouthing one of my DBs, he came in and got the interception and took it back. A 105-yard interception return by Eugene Daniel.
You better kick it here.
That's pretty sweet. And, we've been playing the bend but don't break defense. I'm not real comfortable doing that, but it's been, fairly successful so far. And we had the ball to start the game. So Jacksonville actually has a shot. I mean, they only have 39 seconds, and with the clock, racing down after every play, it's really shorter than that. But if they could manage to score here, get the ball back and score, it's still not too bad yet. A little late on pushing my catch button there.
Give this one a try.
Del Rio might have had a shot for a pick six also. He has all day. I mean, with the offensive line that they probably went dumpster diving to put together, and I still cannot get near him. He has all day. That is terrible. They wasted a lot of time with that. They should have called the timeout a lot sooner. What are we looking at? 53-yarder? Zendejas? The 80s? Why not? And, curved a little bit at the end. Just to the left. Now what that does for me is it does give me a chance to Hail Mary and possibly get another score before the half. Let's rush to the line. Wrong button. Wrong button. Gosh, that happens to me too often. Too often. Preston Davis with a head injury, probably a concussion. I don't know if they called them concussions back then. They probably just jerked out the smelling salt and woke you back up and threw you back in there. But since the game is, really based around 2007, 2008, he may be injured. I have seen cases where using this model or this base game, guys have been injured all year with a concussion or, I think they just call it a head injury. I thought he had that one. He's going to have to get him a elbow pad for that side. Matching elbow pads. And it looks like, I believe this is Richard Todd, if I'm not mistaken. I think it seems like that name's familiar. He may be decent. I know he's not as good as Theismann is on the game, but he may at least be, serviceable.
This defense will stop him for sure.
Okay, he's caught an all-out blitz, fire blitz. Let's see if we can get some pressure on the quarterback. I don't know either, baby. Just trying to find something. I'll be in there in a second, okay? Even still yet, though, with the full-out blitz going on, we had no pressure whatsoever. I think I'll probably switch to a 3-4 next time. I think I'm running a 4-3, and I'll probably start running a 3-4, see how that works. I don't know. My guys just aren't doing a whole lot. That was perfect defensive play. Tipped it right to the other defensive player, but, nothing worth talking about, really. It looked good, but in the end, if you don't get the pick, what good is it? And we're winding down the end of the third quarter here. It's still 14-0. I think Jacksonville has had the ball the whole entire time in the third quarter here. I will more than likely be changing the setting on the accelerated clock, or making the adjustment to add a minute to the time. And that's what I thought would happen, because the quarter ran out. They're close. Fourth quarter, instead of punting it, now they're going to go for it, which I don't blame them. And Theismann's back, so it was just a very minor injury, kept him out for about a quarter, and he should complete this pass. I don't know what kind of defense we were running, but that's made no sense. Probably prevent, and the only thing it did there was prevented us from getting a stop, because it opened up the whole middle of the field. Two guys were standing there wide open. It's ridiculous.
This is a good one to call.
I sort of thought he'd end up with that.
Situation.
It was close enough. It looked like the fullback had a step. I thought he was going to come down with it. Kind of curious if the fullback had any jumping ability. So here we are, 4th and 7, fourth quarter, 2:50 to go. We need a stop to try to, kind of put the nail in the coffin. Are you? Gosh almighty. My two defenders are back there knocking each other out of the way and let him go up and get that. That is terrible. Oh my gosh. And I feel even worse now. Here I am talking up the Zendejas kicker as being pretty decent and a pretty important part of their team, and here he totally destroys an extra point. I probably could have scored on that if I could have squeezed between my two guys there. Oh my gosh. Can't find my play. I gotta have to call a timeout. I may just turn the accelerated clock off. That is giving me fits. Let's try to get out wide here and get up the field. I'd like to get it before the 2-minute warning. That way I get an extra down. I'm going to shift to the right. And they are killing me. They're keying on the run game and just going all out. So here I am, third down to 16. This is, I don't want to say a waste of a game as far as statistics go, but it's not very good. Haven't really been able to do much of anything, because even though they've not done a whole lot, they have managed to hold the ball up and kind of slow the game down. It shouldn't have been interference, but I'll take it. I guess, he was, instead of him coming back to get the ball or make an attempt on the ball, he was impeding my guys' pursuit or chances of getting back. I don't think I wouldn't have called it. Terrible throw. Come on, 81. Make a block. Let's see if we can sneak a touchdown with the fullback. Probably not with 52 coming right up through there. But that's one of those situations where if I take the time to audible out, I'm eating up clock. Oh my gosh. They're cheating where I'm trying to go every time. I don't know if that was Eric Dickerson or if I was watching LeGarrette Blount from last week. Or not last night, not Thursday night, but the previous week when he was hurdling over guys.
You better kick it here.
And this really is a case that if I hadn't messed with the time at all, Dickerson really would have had a shot at a 200-yard game. You know, we would have had, my quarterback would have had a chance. You know, I'd like to say 300 or 400 yards, but if I run a balanced attack, he would have had a shot at about 200 yards. So, you know, we're looking at 400 total. And in reality, we're probably looking at 250 total, if that much. And I may, after I play another good team and kind of see how they match up, if it's still not very close, the outcome's not close, or it doesn't look like, you know, they really have a chance of beating me, I may get in and tweak the settings just a little bit, raise them up a little bit all the way around, especially when the computer has the ball on offense. You know, we're getting sacks, but it's really not like we're doing anything special. It's, you know, Theismann has all day. No one's getting open. So it's not like our pass rushers are being dominant or anything. So those last 3 plays, you know, we didn't do anything. It looks good as far as the stats go, but we really didn't do anything.
Now's not a good time to rub
So the only thing I'm hopeful for is, you know, it may help us as far as our progressions go, because we should be closing in on the first progression. I can't remember if it was week 4 or later than that. I'm going to try to hit the corner here. Looks like a tight end. Pat Beach, corner of the end zone there. If not him, I'll probably try to get Bentley coming over the middle, out of the backfield. I should have him. Terrible throw, but got lucky with it. He should have led him to the outside. Instead, he just threw it straight line. Against a good defense, it would have probably been picked.
You better kick it here.
So we have 24 seconds to go. About the last 2 minutes has probably been the slowest and most kind of drug out part of it. This is one of those games if with my fantasy team, you either love if you're getting garbage time touchdowns and you know, yardage, but here it doesn't feel good. You know, I'm getting garbage time sacks and pressure, but again, it's not what I would consider legitimate.
Time to call a special teams play.
Trying to get a return here just to see what he can do. If okay, time's out, and that'll do it. So we're looking at 28-6. You know, the game was, I don't want to say it was close by no means was it really that close. But we did score some garbage points. And because they had no choice but to go for it, it put us in position to get a few extra possessions. Trudeau, 3 for 6 attempts. Dickerson only had 11 attempts. We didn't do anywhere near as good as what I thought we would. That's individual. Let's see. I did not want to do that, but it's not a big deal. Just ignore that. That's somebody being goofy in the background. Let's see. Game stats. Total offense, 120 yards. And I know it's not about the statistics, but come on, people. The statistics are part of the reason that make it fun. So I will definitely be tweaking the settings just a little bit to try to help that out. In the game, I'll see them the rest of the week. We'll see who we match up against, next week. Okay, there we are. So simulate. Okay, play the Bears. Now, the 85 Bears boasted probably the greatest defense in the history of the NFL, or at least one of them. Top 2 or 3. Now, Buddy Ryan has actually left for 86. He's the coach of the Philadelphia Eagles here. But they'll have all the defensive players there. This will be a really good test as far as that goes. I'm looking forward to it. I'll try to get that video out to you in the next couple days maybe. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're as excited for this upcoming game as I am. And until then, I'll catch you later.